If you're a real Warriors fan living in the US, this video is for you. From coast to coast, America is buzzing after last night's game. Steph Curry just reminded the whole country why he runs the West. Breaking news out of the Bay Area, and honestly, this one caught everyone off guard. Nobody saw it coming, not even the insiders who live and breathe Golden State Warriors news 24/7. The franchise, a dynasty in the modern NBA, has just confirmed a massive update for the season, and it's something that has already sent shockwaves through the locker room, the fanbase, and even rival teams across the league. When you hear the details, you'll understand why this is being called one of the most unexpected twists of the Warriors' season so far. And yes, we're talking about something that could change not only their path this year, but potentially the long-term future of this team. It's been a roller coaster year for Golden State. Just a few weeks ago, we were talking about how the team might be finally finding its rhythm again, how Stephen Curry seemed determined to keep pushing despite the odds, and how the supporting cast was starting to click in ways we hadn't seen in months. But then, out of nowhere, this happens. A confirmed season update that has blindsided fans and left analysts scrambling to reassess the Warriors' chances. And the worst part? The team has been hit with a huge issue that they absolutely did not plan for, the kind of thing that throws entire game plans out the window. To really understand why this is such a big deal, we have to rewind just a bit. This Warriors squad came into the season with a lot of unanswered questions. Could they bounce back from last year's early playoff exit? Could Draymond Green keep his composure and be the defensive leader without drawing unnecessary suspensions? Could Klay Thompson return to peak form and silence the critics who were starting to wonder if his best days were behind him? And perhaps most importantly, could the young core players like Jonathan Kuminga, Moses Moody, and Brandon Podziemski step up and take the load off Curry before he burns himself out? For a while, it looked like maybe, just maybe, they were turning a corner. But here's the brutal truth about the NBA: momentum can disappear in an instant. One bad injury. One unexpected suspension. One sudden shift in team chemistry. And now, we've got confirmation straight from the Warriors camp that the big issue they're dealing with is serious enough to impact the remainder of their season. The word coming out is that this isn't some small, behind-the-scenes concern that can be brushed under the rug. No, this is something the team had to address publicly because it's going to affect lineups, rotations, and possibly even trade deadline decisions. Imagine being a coach who has finally figured out which combinations work best, and then being told that one of your most important pieces is suddenly out of the picture or limited for a stretch of games you absolutely cannot afford to lose. And here's where it gets even more shocking. Insiders are saying this issue didn't just pop up overnight. There were signs, subtle, easy-to-miss signals that something was wrong. But because the Warriors are such a tight-lipped organization when it comes to internal matters, it never became public until now. That's why the fan reaction is so intense. People feel blindsided, and rightfully so. The ripple effect of this news is enormous. For one, it puts even more pressure on Curry, who, let's be honest, has already been carrying a heavier load than anyone wanted him to. The man is 37 years old, and while he's still one of the most dangerous offensive weapons in basketball, no player can be expected to single-handedly drag a team through the Western Conference gauntlet without real help. If the Warriors' support system can't step up, they risk burning out their superstar before the playoffs even begin. Draymond Green, meanwhile, has been vocal about the need for accountability. Sources say he addressed the locker room right after this news broke, urging everyone to stay locked in, not to let this be the thing that derails their season. But even Draymond knows talk only goes so far. The Warriors will need results, and they'll need them fast. Klay Thompson's situation also just got more complicated. With the team facing this sudden challenge, he's going to have to play bigger minutes, take more shots, and potentially guard tougher matchups than originally planned. For a guy who's been battling his own inconsistency, that's no small task. And the whispers around the league are already starting. If Klay doesn't deliver now, when will he? The younger guys Kuminga, Moody, Podziemski are suddenly being asked to grow up overnight. Kuminga, in particular, might have to make the leap from promising role player to reliable, night in, night out difference maker. The front office has been hesitant to give him full reins in the past, but circumstances might leave them no choice. And then there's Steve Kerr, the man tasked with holding this entire thing together. Kerr has been in high-pressure situations before finals games, Game 7's, injury-plagued playoff runs, but this is different. This isn't just about adjusting to an injury or a bad stretch of shooting. This is about navigating a season that's now hanging in the balance because of a sudden, confirmed setback that changes everything. Fans online are already debating what this means for the Warriors' playoff hopes. Some are optimistic, pointing to the team's championship DNA and history of overcoming adversity. Others are more cautious, saying the Western Conference is too stacked this year for Golden State to survive without all their key pieces firing on all cylinders. And you can't blame them when you've got teams like Denver, Minnesota, and Oklahoma City playing at a high level. There's zero margin for error. The Warriors' front office now has a huge decision to make. Do they ride this out and trust the current roster to weather the storm? Or do they get aggressive on the trade market, sacrificing future assets to bring in immediate help? Remember, the trade deadline is creeping up fast, and the window to make a meaningful move is shrinking by the day. As for Curry, sources close to the team say he's keeping his head down and focusing on the next game. That's vintage Steph: block out the noise, control what you can control, and keep pushing forward. But even the most positive mindset can only do so much when the roster around you is suddenly unstable. The truth is, nobody expected this. Not the fans, not the analysts, not even some of the players themselves. The Warriors have been hit with a challenge that could either break them or forge them into something even stronger. It's a storyline that's going to dominate NBA conversations for weeks, and you can bet every team in the West is watching closely to see how Golden State responds. Because here's the thing, in the NBA, adversity is inevitable. What defines a team isn't whether or not they face challenges, it's how they respond when those challenges hit. And for the Warriors, that moment is right now. The coming weeks will tell us everything we need to know about whether this team still has the heart, the chemistry, and the fight to make another deep run. Until then, all eyes are on San Francisco, where the once unshakable Warriors find themselves in the middle of a season-defining storm. The pressure is mounting with each passing game, and every possession feels heavier than the last. Opposing teams smell blood in the water, and you can bet they'll be bringing their absolute best whenever they face Golden State. The margin for error is gone, every mistake will be magnified, every missed opportunity could shift the season's direction. Inside Chase Center, the players know this reality all too well. Conversations in the locker room have grown more serious, more urgent. Leaders like Curry and Green are challenging their teammates to rise above the noise and dig deeper than ever before. The young core is being tested in real time, forced to mature faster than planned. And while the challenge is enormous, history has shown us that adversity can ignite the kind of fire that fuels championship runs. Whether this becomes the Warriors' rallying point or their breaking point will soon be revealed, but one thing's certain: the NBA world will be watching every single step.